I want to be real with you guys. I used to hate going to the gym. I hated it. I hated getting up. I hated the process. I quit several times. But now I would say I'm a person who is kind of addicted to the gym. I show up there every day regardless. And that started to happen when this one little thing just changed. So if you're somebody who is struggling to stay consistent in the gym, this video might flip that switch for you. When I first started going to the gym, I was just chasing bigger arms, maybe a six-pack, and probably a little bit of attention. And then when the progress slowed down, so did my motivation. I would go hard for a few months, and then the motivation would start to die off, and I quit over and over again. That's because there's a deeper meaning to the gym. And I think everybody has a deeper meaning in their mind. They just have to figure it out. I called this my why. And you can apply this with pretty much anything, whether it's money, relationships, the gym, whatever. You need to find a deep-rooted connection on why you're doing these things. For me, I feel like seeing people from my high school that have already let themselves go and are already super out of shape, it frightened. I didn't want to be the guy that peaked when he was 17 years old. I wanted to be the guy that people looked at when he was 25, 30, 40 years old, just like, wow, this guy's in great shape. And I feel like that little thing just kind of flipped the switch for me, because it wasn't just like gains for the next, few months. It was a life thing. Like, I wanted to be healthy my whole life. I want to live longer. I want to live a healthy lifestyle. I'm not just training for the summer. I'm not just trying to, get lean for the summer. Like, I'm training for life. And I'm a big fan of Arnold, and I don't know if you watched any of his interviews, but he always is bringing up and comparing things to bodybuilding. Whether it was his political run or his movies, it all stems from his hard work that he'd learned in bodybuilding. All of this stuff that you can learn in the gym, it carries to everything outside of the gym. It carries to, money. A lot of the most successful people in the world have that deep why they do it, that deep rooted connection on why they do it. It's not just to make a little bit of money. If they wanted to just make a little bit of money, they would go work a normal job. But no, they want to run, they want to be the boss, they want to create stuff. It made me start thinking that the gym is almost like a vehicle. It's like a tool. If your only goal is to get a six-pack, what happens when you get your six-pack? If your only goal is to get a partner, what happens when you get the partner? You need to find something deeper, something that lasts. Like retired NFL player Ray Lewis, he used to go through a deck of cards and he would flip the cards out, and whatever number came up, that's how many push-ups would do. If he flipped a 10, he'd do 10 push-ups, and he'd flip another card, 6 push-ups, all the way through the deck, 52 cards. That's motivation. That's why. And he did that just so he could be strong enough to protect his mother. That is way more deeper than any kind of results you could get, any kind of muscle you could put on. And that's what keeps you going when you're not seeing progress. It's that goal right there. And once I locked in on my reason, the gym stopped being a chore. It was like clockwork. It's just something I do every day. It's like brushing my teeth. Not just because I love it, but because I owe it to myself. I wish I can tell you what your why is, but that's just something you have to find on your own. Maybe it starts with abs or bigger arms or relationships. That's fine to start with, but it needs to flow into something bigger and deeper. Why do you want that? What does it represent? What kind of person will that turn you into? If this video felt like it hit home, drop a like and consider subscribing. I want to help you find your reason like I found mine. And when you do, the motivation is endless.